Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Karthik and I am back with another prototype. It feels like it's been ages since I posted a video. I'm trying hard with a full-time job life and a 3-year-old. It gets hard. So I got to know about Lovable, and there are these just so many services these days. But I tried Lovable, and it's for those of you who don't know, it's basically a SaaS app using which you can build full stack apps using natural language query. So pretty much what's the trend these days, vibe coding. So what all you can do with that, you can go ahead and look at their website, lovable.dev, and go learn more. I decided to go ahead, experiment with it, and create a journaling app. Now, I like to journal daily, and I use the old school diary and pen. Um, but what I have been thinking is that it would be really nice if I could have an app which would use AI to provide me an analysis of my journal entries, but also have an analysis of a trend across different entries across time, and also be able to capture moon phases. And this is something I'm interested in to understand how different moon phases affects my mood. So maybe it's not for everyone, but I am curious, and I decided to go ahead and build an app for myself. I'm just gonna give you a quick walkthrough of what the problem is here. So there is writing daily journals has been, I think, a very old practice, and with technology now, it has been made possible to understand, derive deeper trends from what you've been writing. So up until now, there was a lack of feedback or engagement from what you've written across time. There was no way to build connections between the patterns that you've written in your daily journals, um, and there was a desire for accessible self-reflection tools, and then with the moon cycle, it can be natural to not be aware of it and feel disconnected. So what was the opportunity here? So I thought, it will be interesting to combine the AI analysis and then the unique context, which is the moon phases, for a richer and more insightful journaling experience. And I decided to go ahead with Lovable to design my prototype. And I named it Lunar Logs, but I'm not even sure if that name is taken. But yeah, I don't think I'll be launching this app. I'll be using it for myself. But basically, what it is an intelligent journaling companion for self-discovery. There's nothing fancy here. I think the fancy part is behind the scenes, in the heavy lifting that is being done um, by generative AI and the vector database and a knowledge graph or a graph database. So what kind of users I'm targeting with this product? So as expected, introspective individuals who are reflective, who like to think about or reflect upon their days, their emotional landscape mainly, um, and they would like to be on top of, or at least be in a better control of their psychological landscape. So with that, they may need to better understand the patterns. So there's a need for pattern recognition, and a deeper connection with themselves and the natural cycles. And the core value this brings to the table is transform regular journaling to simple recording into a dynamic tool for personal growth and understanding. Let's get to the next slide. So here are some of the key features. With AI analysis, I'm using OpenAI's LLM for this one. At the moment, it's GPT-4o Mini. For auto summary, theme extraction, sentiment analysis, and recurring patterns. Then there's a Neo4j, it's actually Neo4j Aura knowledge graph that I'm using behind the scenes to connect the entries and the themes and the sentiments over time. The interesting part, the moon phase, is that it captures the moon phase, the phase of the moon, every time you write a journal entry, and that is being fetched from the Weather API. And then there's a semantic search, which needs a bit of refinement, but it is there. And then what is the technology stack for front end? I'm using React, TypeScript, White, Tailwind, CSS, and ChatCDN. And then backend Supabase with their regular Postgres DB and the vector DB, along with edge functions. I really like the edge functions. I just learned about them. To be very honest, I did not know Supabase has something like that before this, so I'm really impressed. It comes in very handy. And then for AI and data services, I'm using OpenAI and Neo4j and the Weather API, of course. And GenAI prototyping tool, Lovable. Can't go wrong with that. So let's jump on. Wait, there is one more slide. Oh yeah. So roadmap, yeah. I'm not sure if I was thinking what I could build on top of that what we already have, which I'm just gonna demo in a couple of minutes. So maybe enhance insights, maybe interactive charts, deeper graph analytics. Yeah, there's a lot that can be done. Proactive features such as memory lane. Go back into the memory lane and bring back memories that you mentioned, or themes and all that. Something more creative around that. Maybe combining it with a video model, or yeah, there's so much you can do. And predictive prompts, which is already there, but yeah, I do need to make it better. And then a personalized growth assistant, so based on the patterns of your entries, you can have personalized suggestions on your goal, on how you can grow towards your goal. And then a community feature where people can opt in, and then of course after they allow privacy focused sharing of the anonymized aggregate trends, so they can be a part of a community, and then they can talk about things or challenges that they that are common within that group, and that can all be done through data analysis. And then integration with all sorts of things. I'm really interested in trying out some variables, and will be interesting to see when someone is writing the journal entries based on the emotions they feel, if their heart rate goes up or something like that. It's very, very interesting what you can do with this. And then of course you cannot have an AI app these days and not have an AI agent on top of it. So Lunar AI agent, and using which you can chat with your data and basically talk about what you've been going through. So coming to the app, this is the app Lunar Logs, and it's got a night mode and it's got a day mode. I do like the night mode more. And it's basically all these are sample entries, as you can see. With each entry, it has the date and the phase of the moon. Now let me grab a new entry and I can show you. So here's an entry I'll copy and I will do a new entry. I'll paste it here. I will not use these prompts, although these are reflection prompts that it suggests that you can use. And I will save entry and I will give it a few seconds and it will do the backend operations to get the moon phase and the AI analysis. In the meanwhile, I can show you the old entry. So here's an example entry, and just know that I ran out of lovable prompts for the month. So yes, there are improvements that are needed in this app. So do not shoot me. Yeah. So here we have the journal entry, and then we have the AI summary of this along with the themes. And then we have some key insights and patterns such as sentiment, hope 70%, and other identified patterns is positive reframing and mindfulness. If we go back to the entry that we just made, it's here. It was on a waxing crescent, a 14% illumination of the moon, and we have the AI summary and the key insights pattern, which is good for this one. There is this feature here which ideally should find similar entries, and it is working now, which is interesting. It wasn't working earlier, but that's good. We have all these similar entries, and you can click on any one to go and have a look at the entries. It also shows which one is 100% similar, which is this one, which should not be here. So that's one thing I need to fix. And then we have other entries which are similar. Sorry. Now this is the interesting page which I like. Insights. And it basically leverages the Neo4j DB to pull all sorts of connections across various journal entries that the user has made. And the key, for example, this is the time period for which I'm looking at the data for. So key themes this week, it says personal growth has been the most popular, which is interesting. And then this has been the emotional landscape. Still, there are a few bugs I need to fix. And then noted patterns and relationship. These are the recurring patterns which has been observed. And then sentiment snapshot by moon phase. So this gives a breakdown of how someone, what were the sentiment patterns based on various moon phases, and then the themes. There is a bit of an overlap, like for example restlessness, but there are other themes which can be seen here. Now it uses there is a sign up feature, but there is Google OAuth as well for logging in and signing up. So the profile page does not have anything except my email address, which I should not have been showing here. And then we have the admin page, which is fun because this is where you have the API key, and you have the system prompt. So this is the system prompt for the analysis. And this is the analysis prompt, basically the user prompt, which is then populated as a template with the other things. Then of course the Neo4j configuration and the WeatherAPI configuration. And then I also created sorry, I also created a Cypher test page to run some Cypher queries, and just to test things out when I was building it. And then this is an LLM dashboard, which basically shows the prompt, the models being used. And I can change these here. And then the prompt configuration. I know this is an overlap here. And then the OpenAI usage, the token usage for the date range. So it shows it all here. And based on the edge functions in Supabase, it shows which model was called, what was the prompt, what was the token consumption for the prompt and for the completion and the total. So overall, I think Lovable did an incredible job. Um, and yeah, but there is a knack to it. There is a knack on, there are best practices on prompting on Lovable. I did not write a single line of code for this. I did not even edit anything in the code. It was all basically from beginning to end built by Lovable and with the help of natural language queries. However, what helped me was that I created this prompting best practices guide, the Lovable best practices guide. It's basically I built it with the help of deep research, and it has a lot of citations and references. But what I did was I've guide back to Gemini, and then I use Gemini to create the prompts, the Lovable prompts for me, and it does an incredible job in that. So I will be sharing this the link to the guide that you can use to, you can read it yourself and you can learn as well. It's easy to read, or you can feed it to maybe ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, and you can use that to generate your prompts. um, and yeah, I'll share the link to the free guide in the description of the video. I don't know where you're watching this, on LinkedIn or YouTube, but if you have any questions, comments, feel free to comment. And I will be doing a series now where I will be doing a live walkthrough of how I build these things. I think that's very interesting, and I'll be picking up random use cases, just having fun basically. And in the process, I think I will learn a lot, and hopefully you all will learn with me. And I'll see what all I can share with you. But yeah, if you have any use cases in mind, do let me know in the comments, and then I'll try my best to see which one I can pick. But yeah, until next time, see you all. Thank you so much for all your support. Take care. Bye bye.